Hello, everyone, and welcome all of you to this demo session on contract risk management. So here, let us study how to do the assessment of the risks that are involved in the contract. So we call this stage as contract risk assessment. So why this is important and how this is useful? This is important because this helps us to understand the risk factors that are involved in the particular contract. So now what are the uses of it? As I said, it states the risks that are involved in the performance or in the non-performance of the contract. It gives a clear vision to that of the parties that how the clauses are to be interpreted and how would they cause them any damage or how it will be favorable to them, and henceforth they take up this process of contract risk assessment. Now here, when you do an assessment of the contract risks involved, so you'll have to be very careful and thorough with every clause. That is, you have to read in between the lines. Now, in this session, I'll walk you through the process of the assessment of the risks that are involved in the contract. Now, this is not a standard one, or I cannot say that this is the full and final. No, because the risk assessment template, it varies from companies to company, and also the client may require some additional information or some additional columns. Now, the template what I am showing you is a standard one, which is used majorly by many of the clients and companies. So here I'll be having a contract on one side of my system and the template on the other side. And yes, without any delay, let us start this contract assessment. Okay, yeah. So now, as you can see, you can find an agreement for services here. And this is the template for the risk assessment. So I have named it as risk assessment sheet. So here you can see we have serial number, clause, the clause title, risk rating. Here we will be putting up high risk, medium, and low. Low. And it will be followed by the comments and then the reasoning part. So now, yes, let us start with the same. So now we have agreement for services, and yes, this agreement is made and entered into on this day of dash and dash 2021 by and between. Okay, now we see this recitals. So here recitals are not clear, wherein they haven't mentioned that who is going to sign, the authorized parties, etc., etc. So it is not recitals, this is a preamble. So I'll put up this clause title as preamble. I would rate it as high because the parties are not present here. So my comments will be the details of authorized person are missing. Okay, so I have put up here. Okay, yes. And so both the things it is missing. And then here I can see there is no recital. So I'll be putting up the here I'm not putting the clause because we don't have any clause number. So I'll be putting up recital, and I'll be putting up this as low because recitals are not mandatory. However, it is suggested to have one. Now, yes, now we'll be looking into agree terms. That is clause 1. The first clause it says, this agreement starts on the commencement date and continues till the completion date specified in the statement of work at schedule 1, unless it is terminated earlier in accordance with this agreement. Okay, so the commencement date and everything is in the statement of work, which is mentioned as a schedule 1. We are okay with that. And next clause is scope of agreement, wherein it states about the terms and conditions will be mentioned as per the statement of work, and all the non-exclusivity, etc. Okay. Okay. So for duration of this agreement and for 3 months thereafter, ABC shall not directly or indirectly provide a service which is similar to that of set out in the statement of work for any XYZ competitor. Okay. So here again, this is something which will lead to ambiguity. Like if that is not something of XYZ competitor, what can be done in that case, and how do you define somebody as the competitor and not competitor? So here I'll be putting up this one 2.3, and the heading to that is scope of agreement, and here I'll be putting up as medium, and I'll be mentioning definition of competitor. Okay, so here I'll be needing the definition of the term competitor, who is competitor and who should be assigned as the competitor. And next, yes, so XYZ furnish services. Okay, so next is clause 3, services. ABC will perform the services including production of deliverables detailed in the statement of work. Okay, so again, it has been dependent on the statement of work. And then we have consideration. Here, this clause we have to look very detailed. So the consideration here, we can see that subject to ABC's performing its obligation under the agreement, XYZ will pay ABC all undisputed fees within 30 days of XYZ receipt of and correctly rendered tax invoice from ABC. Now here again, we have to raise the risk factor here. So I have mentioned the consideration. I'm flagging it as high. So here, the first thing that has to be asked here is undisputed. So how are you going to tell that a particular thing is disputed or not? Okay, and the second one here is the one I'm going to mention here is format of invoice. Okay, so what format it has to be given, and do they have any standard template, or do they have to be with the supporting documents, or in what mode? And then mode of communication, like where the invoice has to be sent and who is the authorized person to receive the invoice. These details has to be put up. And fourth, dates. So do they have any dates that has to be provided, like within this date the invoice has to be submitted, or how it has to be done, or by do they have, what tenure do they have to clear a bill, etc., etc. So these dates are missing. So I would like to put all these in the comment sections. And then moving forward here, 4.2 is, if any taxes, charges, duties, levies, or fees, taxes are required by law or regulation to the withheld from any payment for any goods or services provided by ABC under this agreement, XYZ will deduct those from the amount payable and remit them to the relevant taxing authority. XYZ will provide details of the taxes so remitted in accordance with the relevant taxation law. Okay, fine, no problem with that. That is a taxation clause. Next, we have intellectual property. So here, IP, we have to see that, yeah, each party will retain its pre-existing IPR, and nothing in this agreement assigns or transfers the pre-existing IPR of one party to the other. Okay, fine. ABC agrees that immediately upon creation of any deliverables, XYZ owns the deliverables. ABC assigns to XYZ all existing and future IPR subsisting in and to any deliverables. Okay, no problem. In this clause, IPR means all industrial and intellectual property rights of any kind, including, okay, including copyright, trademarks. Okay, fine. Yeah, so I think that there are no queries here, nothing to flag on. 5.4, XYZ grants to ABC for the term irrevocable, non-transferable, non-exclusive royalty-free license to use XYZ's pre-existing IPR as may be necessary to perform the services and other obligations of ABC required by this agreement. Okay, fine, no issues with that. So they have been very cordial with that of the IPRs. Next, we come to the confidentiality clause. Even here, we should be very careful. Okay, so confidentiality, they have defined the term confidential information, which is very good. So they have said that it is financial affairs, assets or liability, XYZ, or any information relating to the internal management, XYZ, its personnel, policies, strategies, customers, suppliers, products, or services. Okay. So it has given an exceptions for the confidential information also. Okay, so it is in the public domain, already known. Okay. And then ABC must, so some obligation regarding to the confidential information. Yes, non-disclose of the confidential information to XYZ. Okay. Okay, including cooperation with that of XYZ in any action. Okay, ABC may use or reproduce confidential information of XYZ for the purpose of performing its assets, performing its obligations, or exercising its rights under this agreement. Okay, fine. Okay with that. A disclosure may be provided. Okay. Obligations contained in this clause survive expiration or termination of this agreement for any reasons. Okay, now here I will raise a flag 6, that is confidentiality. Here I would mention it as high because they have not mentioned what is the mode of returning of confidential information. So how are they returning once this agreement is done? So if there is any trade secrets that is shared in any hard copy or in any document form, how are they going to return it? So the returning of confidential information is nowhere mentioned. So I'm going to flag this as high. Now we have 7th one, liability and indemnity. Okay, yes. Okay, ABC indemnifies and agrees to keep indemnified XYZ, its affiliates and their employees, officers, agents, directors, shareholders. Okay, everybody is done. I am here omitting certain part because I have gone through it. That is why I am omitting certain part. But when you do it, do not omit any line. Read between line. Every single line is very important. Okay, moving next, an act or omission on part of ABC or any of its personnel in the performance of this agreement. Okay, breach of ABC confidentiality. Okay, okay, so it is mentioned here. Next, again, 7.2 is liability. So they have mentioned about the liability also. So I'm not finding any major thing to flag. And next, here I come directly to the termination. So XYZ may terminate this agreement at any time without cause or penalty by giving ABC 30 days notice in writing. Now, I would mention this clause, and I would flag this because this is a unilateral clause. So I'll mention it high, and I would state that termination is unilateral or single-sided. Okay. Okay. So only one part has the right to terminate, wherein the other one is not having, and they can do it without any cause also. Next, here is the termination of this agreement will not prejudice or affect any provisions. Okay, so now we have reviewed the risk assessment of whatever clauses are there. Now here we can find out that many clauses are missing. Okay, so now the first clause that we put up is warranty for the services that are provided, because they have mentioned the deliverables, etc. So I'm flagging it as high. Etc. are there. So deliverables, services, and other things are there. Okay, so yeah, I remove this extra. And the next clause is publicity. I'm putting up this as medium because what happens is many companies, they do not like to disclose to the other parties that whom they are getting their services from and who is their suppliers, etc. So here it is, the contract is totally silent about it, silent about this clause. So tomorrow it should not be causing a problem. And also they haven't mentioned about any mode of communication. Okay, so here mode of communication is nowhere mentioned, what is the mode that they will be communicating. And then the next one is dispute resolution. So here, as you can see, there is no dispute resolution process, whether it is in arbitration or whether it is directly court, it is nowhere mentioned. And they haven't mentioned anything about assignment of the contract, whether it can be given or not. So I'll be flagging it as medium. And then they have not mentioned anything about non-solicitation clause. Solicitation clause or even non-conflict clause is not here. Okay, so here I would find it low because not everyone prefers to have this. So let me put it as low. And yeah, so these are the clauses. This is a demo contract risk assessment. And now again, I'll go through it once again, and then again I'll find few more clauses which are not mentioned here, and I would like to add all of them here. So this session or this video is just to show you how it is done and how are you going to analyze and how are you going to put up in this particular template that what are the probable risks that are involved in this particular contract. Now, to have more, if you are willing to have more deep understanding about this procedure, and if you want to learn more, then we are offering advanced certificate course in contract lifecycle management, which is commencing from next month, that is from January 3, 2022. The details are found below in the description, and also you can find either, if not in the description, you will find it in the comment section. And if you have any queries, you can get back to us through the via WhatsApp to the number you can see in the screen. So you can contact us and you can solve your queries. I hope this was a great learning for you. And if you have any more queries or if you need any more details, then feel free to contact us. Thank you.